So today our guest speaker is Cephas, and Cephas is going to give us a quick introduction to Power BI. So the Power BI learning community is being sponsored by Enterprise DNA in partner with UrBizEdge. So UrBizEdge powers the Power BI learning community, and Enterprise DNA sponsors the Power BI learning community. So Enterprise DNA is a firm, and their goal is to empower Power BI users to change the world. So you make the most out of your data using Power BI. For your business is a registered Microsoft consulting, financial modeling, business intelligence, data analysis, and enterprise solution firm in Nigeria. They're also the developers of the Nigeria Financial Market tool, which can be found in the Microsoft Office store, and the brain behind the Nigeria Market Data platform. This is the calendar for the upcoming training, which you can also find on the website, which I'll share later in the chat box. And today's guest speaker is Cephas. So Cephas is a data extinguisher. He's also a Power BI advocate who seeks to impact lives in the data space, like he's about to do right now. And he also loves creating solutions that can also help you improve your workplace efficiency by leveraging on business intelligence tools. So hello Cephas. You can over to you.
Okay, good evening everyone.
Good evening.
Hello, fine. Good evening.
Yeah, good evening.
So am I good to go now?
Yes, you're good to go. You're good
So
to go.
the audience, they cannot talk, but they'll be chatting. So don't worry if it looks silent. It's just so that nobody disrupts your flow. So please take us away, share your screen. We are ready for you.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, my name is Cephas Chukwuwike, just as Ifeanyi has rightly said, and I'll be taking us through the introduction to Power BI as a tool. But before then, I'll just be moving from business intelligence, just like a brief intro into what business intelligence is, and then just move straight into what Power BI is. It seems my slide is not moving. Okay. So who is Cephas? So Cephas professional with keen interests. Though I'm still upcoming, I have keen interest in getting great solutions up in Nigeria. But I'm actually looking forward to see how being part of the team that could make Nigeria a better place for us all. And my LinkedIn is you can actually get me on LinkedIn. This is my name, Chukwuwike Cephas, and my Twitter handle as Chukwuwike Ceph. So that's like a brief intro into who Cephas is. I'm sorry, my slide is taking time. Hello, I'm having challenges with my slides. I don't know if
Okay, try sharing on sharing. Just maybe try sharing your.
Is it a PowerPoint or you're using this fancy new?
Yeah.
It's a PowerPoint.
I'm using PowerPoint. It has moved so far.
Okay. Just slowly catching up or something. Except what may I notice is if I have other things opened on my computer, like I have my Chrome and many tabs, and I have other things open, PowerPoint and Teams can be slow. So I sometimes
let me try presenting again.
Any luck? Have you been able to do something about it?
No, I'm still trying to. I'm trying to use PowerPoint online to do the
Oh, that's right.
presentation.
That's going to
So
be
maybe
what?
that's maybe download it and
Sorry?
like maybe download a offline version, like a Power BI, a PowerPoint file, and use that because
You don't want to open it on your normal PowerPoint. I'm guessing that's why it's slow. The fact that it's loading from online.
Yeah. I'm really very sorry about this.
it's okay. Just have you been able to download offline version?
I'm not. The whole thing is just not loading. Just I don't know if to reconnect. It's just so slow now. Well, I before now I normally have issues with my Teams. I don't know if I could just connect from.
Is there a demo to what you want to present to us? If there's a demo, you can just go straight to the demo then. Because from what you're saying, you say it you have issue with the PowerPoint online. And we are saying, why don't you open the file? It's your slides. Obviously, you have the local file now. Why don't you just open it directly from your PowerPoint without using online PowerPoint? That one, there's no internet is using.
Is it possible to share the file?
Sorry.
Is it possible for you to share the file? Then I
Yeah,
can
I
do
could
from
share
it.
that. Let me
Okay,
share
so
it.
yeah, so you can send to if you can share it, that'll be better.
Thank you.
The sharing, you will have to email. You can't share. You can't upload file in the chat box.
Yes, I sent my email in the chat box. So you could use
They
that.
will present it for him.
Can I exit this call and join back because it seems the Teams is slowing down the whole thing. So I could just do that, and if you don't mind, please.
Okay.
Okay.
We have a question that we can be able to progress. Sure. Apologies to everyone. Say maybe like in 2 minutes, we will be back. But in the meantime, I would like to just ask everyone in the house if you can put in the chat box, for you, what's especially if you are someone new to Power BI, what's your pain point? A lot of people, once they encounter Power BI, there's always that part of it that everybody finds a bit daunting. So for you at your current learning stage, what's that part of Power BI that is giving you the toughest time. So at least we begin to get some context to what we can help you with in today's class. So please feel free to put in the chat box what it is that for you is that pain area. And I know for me, when I started the Power BI, I don't think my own experience is relevant, because then Power BI was a collection of hardings. It was a collection of hardings within Microsoft Excel. So it was like Power View plus Power Query, and then also Power Pivot, and then there was also Power Map. So you had to install all these hardings, and then it was a bit tricky to use. It used to be very slow, and then I didn't know much about DAX. DAX was new, and it was frustrating in terms of what I wanted to do. I could have done it faster in the normal Excel. So to now go to Power Pivot, then Power Query, I was even trying to understand what was it meant for. So I can't say my own experience is relevant, if you think of it that way. But again, I'm just asking, because right now Power BI is a lot different from what it used to be. Now it's a much more mature product. It's something that the whole BI community has come to embrace as an industry leader in itself, BI space. So anybody, if you want to speak, you can also raise your hand, and I will make you a speaker. So what for you is your pain point?
Oh, Mickey, you won the Enterprise 2 in December.
Okay. Nobody saying anything. Nobody. Okay. See, Ifeanyi, you are saying something, right? I thought you were.
Yeah, I was saying. I was asking. No, I was asking. Mikey. I think he was one of the people that got the Enterprise.
Oh, okay. The Enterprise DNA
Basically.
learning.
Yes, that should be early this year, I think.
He even said he already had it. Was he not the one who said he already had an account and then look for someone else? Oh, okay. Someone says data too large. Let me just read. So Jennifer is saying that for her, the issue she too large of data sets, knowing how to bring in data best way to keep smaller. For me, it's the inverse. So I'll tell you, most of what I'm using Power BI for now are files, are data, not even let's say files, like they're data that are hundreds of millions of rows. So I'm very grateful that I know Power BI, because there was no way I could have worked with them in Excel. And then, so I think that's a plus for Power BI, if you ask me. It's something that you later begin to appreciate Power BI for. Someone says data cleansing. Yes, completely agree with you. The problem that I have the most in most life projects is, they will say, oh, Michael, we want to be able to let me spotlight myself. So they'll say, oh, we want to have this report. And what they are saying is very easy, like, oh, we want to have sales reports for different regions, for different brands. And everything is super easy, in terms of the expectation. Then I get to connect to the data, and and I do what I think they want. And then they start saying, oh, there's this rule that I did not follow. There's when something is this, is that, they drop the sales, and when is this, they pick something else. So by the time they keep telling me all the rules, all the things that I need to adjust for, your motivation goes down. You're like, oh my God, this thing doesn't end. And then they're like, in Excel, we just do this plus this. In Power BI, you don't do this plus this. It's not like a cell where you just pick, oh, I had this plus that one. So I have to explain to them that Power BI doesn't work like that. Just the fact that you can just go in Excel and you click a cell and you say this cell times that one. And then when you go to the cell below it, you will not be doing that. You'll be doing another thing times. Power BI doesn't work like Excel that you just go click this and do times that. It's whatever you're doing, you have to think of it as it will happen for the entire column, and like, well, it's easy in Excel. When someone says something is easy in Excel, it's like, then what's the use for Power BI? If this thing used to be easy in Excel, then I tell them, okay, that's your Excel. How come you are not doing? Why are you doing just 1 week? Why are you doing just 1 day? Why are you not doing the whole year? Then they're like, okay, now I understand. But Power BI is doing the whole thing. It's doing 1 year, as many years you go to the filter, you specify 1 month, you can pick 1 year, and it's working. Then they now, okay, now I understand. So Srikari says, Power BI. I'm new to Power BI. I'm trying to understand the fundamentals of it. Looking forward to learning more things from this session. Maybe I'll even let me know once Cephas is in, so I quickly hand over.
Yeah. So, okay.
Has he sent you the file?
Yeah, sent me the file. So I'm downloading it right now.
Okay. Will you present? Let me stop spotlighting myself. So just to comment to what Sri Hari has said, that he or she is new to Power BI, trying to understand the fundamentals of it. So what I tell people, especially people who have a similar background to me, what I mean by similar is if you are coming from the Excel side, and that's common for most of us who were not core SQL people, right? So it's either you are coming from an IT SQL background, or you are coming from just, I used to use Excel, and now they say Power BI is the next thing to learn. So what I tell people coming from the Excel side is, I tell them that.
Hello, good evening.
Oh, good.
Yeah, good.
What about now? Is it better?
Okay,
Hello? Yeah.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we hear you clearly.
Okay, great. I'm really very sorry for this each. I didn't know that it's going to turn out like this, so I'm really very sorry. I don't know. I wanted to share my video, but I can't share my video. I don't know if it's necessary. I should continue with that. But I should just.
No, it's not important. I will turn off my own. It was when you were not around, I needed to just start engaging the people. So if you will share your slide, so that way you can get back on track. Let me turn off the video.
Okay. Thank you very much.
All right. So some people just asked a few things. Let me just quickly, for Srikant Power BI, your question I think is part of what Cephas will cover. So I will, and then LM2, your question maybe at the end too will address, so that I quickly let Cephas get back on track. All right, over to you, sirs.
Okay, fine. So I don't. Am I the one controlling the slide, or he will be the one controlling the slide?
If I control the slide. So I think if was on the slide, third slide, where he wanted to talk about what Power BI is really and what BI. No. Go
okay,
BI.
Move forward.
Okay. Are you sure we've done this one? There was one slide that had like Cephas. Can you tell him which slide you should?
You have to move backward now. Okay, go back again. Yeah, you have to go back again. Thank you.
What will we see on the slide that you want us to go to? Because it seems like maybe there's a
slide.
Okay. Let me start. Okay, it's fine. Let me just start out from here. I think I actually went through the other slides that were talking about my my person, talking about my network and all of that. So today I will quickly be going through what business intelligence is, just a brief introduction. No, you could just leave it where the agenda is, so I could just run through and then let them know what I'm going through. Business intelligence. I was talking about Power BI, introducing people to Power BI, and also the tools involved in Power BI, and also the advantage that Power BI has over some analytical tools that has actually made it a top analytical tool in the market today. So at the end of the whole thing, I'll still be going through some business use case, just like trying to show us some solutions that could actually be built using Power BI, just a glance through though. And then finally, I'll be taking us through a demo that could show us the Power BI interface, the Power BI desktop interface to be precise. So just show us, it's an online video from YouTube, which just shows us what it is like. So I don't know if you can go to the next slide, please. Thank you. So in every facet of our life, we make decisions in businesses. Decisions are really made. Without quality decisions, it's practically impossible for a business to move forward. Even not just businesses, in other areas of our life, decisions are being made, and these decisions cannot be made without having data, to actually visualize and know what has happened in the past, and then know from what has happened in the past, you could actually know, okay, this is possible, and then you make the right decisions. Okay, for instance, you spotted that, okay, for instance, you are a businessman, and you know that in a particular month, you always make profits. And you know that, yes, you can actually increase this profit if you increase the quantity of goods that you have. And then you could just get to buy, and you realize that it's cheaper month before that particular time. So with the data you've gotten, you could actually know, okay, this is the time to buy, and this would be the perfect time to sell. So I could just get more profit than it should have been. So this is actually a decision that was powered based on previous data. So decision is very, very important, in moving our business forward and in achieving our goals. So when we talk about business intelligence, what comes to our mind? So business intelligence is basically, you can still remain on that previous slide. So business intelligence is basically has to do with collecting data, storing data and analyzing this data from business operations or activities. So when we get this, it has to do with collecting data, just like what Power BI does, which collecting data from different sources, making it from different sources, and visualizing and analyzing to ensure that we get insight from this data. And also, it can be viewed as keeping tabs of data generated from activities. So this is basically what business intelligence. So that with keeping tabs with the data that's been generated, governing this data sets, and managing them. You know that, yes, okay, this data has integrity, and we can actually use this to make decisions. So this is basically what business intelligence is. Just this like an intro, though. I know I have. So my colleagues, my ogas at the top, who actually knows more into this, yeah. But then this is just like an introduction. So you can go to the next slide. Okay, so business intelligence is centered on data. So we cannot talk about business intelligence without data. And in this next slide, please, sir, can you move to the next slide? I want to show them what data is all about. So basically, data is talks about information. It could be, okay, for instance, in a class, we could have the scores of different students. So this could actually be put into rows and columns depending on how you want to format your data. No, you can remain on the other side. So you can actually put them into rows and columns, which depending on how you actually want to, you just format the data and all of that. So these different figures or numbers talks about data. So a student would have data, scores across different subjects. So that's like a record for a particular student. So also in different areas, like those who actually make sales and all that, they can have different data for a particular product. So that's like basically an intro into what data is. So we can move to the next slide. So now we are I'm going to go into some of the tools that we need to make business intelligence decisions. So in the world today, we have tons of business intelligence tools. We have the Power BI, Microsoft Power BI, which is one of the most popular. We have the Tableau, which is also popular. We have the Qlik, which is very, very popular as well. And then we have the Microsoft SQL Server, which is consisting of though it's like basically 4, we have the database engine, but then I didn't really mention it here. We have the SQL Server analysis services, we have the SQL Server integration services, we have the SQL Server reporting services. So these are like separate services in SQL Server, which Power BI actually adapted, including some features in Excel. So Power BI actually took some features from SQL Server and then from some features from Excel to make up what it is today. So in SQL Server, which is like a database, like more like when we talk about SQL Server, it's more like a database. So the feature like SQL Server integration services helps to pull data. Imagine you have a data in Excel. In Excel, you have a data in different format. You could just write a package in SQL Server, using SQL Server integration service to pull data from the different sources to a database. So that is part of SQL Server, and also you can do analysis using SQL Server analytics services. That's also a feature in Power BI. You can also do reporting. You have a service in SQL Server which you still use in doing reporting. You could create reports and also share. So these are like features in SQL Server, which was already in existence, which was actually which was actually used in building up Microsoft Power BI. So Microsoft Power BI actually stands out because of the so many capabilities which it houses. So one other major thing that makes Microsoft Power BI stand out is because it is easy for business people to get up with creating insights. So you actually don't need so much coding knowledge. You don't need so much coding knowledge. So it actually belongs to the Power Platform stack. Power Platform stack, which consists of Microsoft Power Apps, Microsoft Power Automate, we have Microsoft Virtual Agents, and then Microsoft Power BI. So you don't really need to it's more like a low code, no code kind of application that could actually help businessmen to create insight without having to learn how to code. So it's just so easy to get up running with. So please, can you move to the next slide? Thank you. So hello, can you move to the next slide? So Microsoft Power BI. When we talk about Microsoft Power BI, what is Microsoft Power BI? I can easily explain Microsoft Power BI using 2 words: power and business intelligence. So when we talk about power, we can just see it like an enabler, like a pushing force that's that helps us achieve something. So now when we talk about business intelligence, I actually define business intelligence to be has to do with analyzing data, trying to create insights and all of that. So Power BI, in other words, can be seen as an enabler of business intelligence. So that could just be a simple definition. So it can be seen as a software that helps us to create insights from so many data sources, to create reports which can be used to get insights from so many sources. So we can just see Power BI as an enabler, a software which enables us to create business reports not just in business, across other areas. So that's just like a simple meaning into what Power BI is all about. So now moving to the next slide, which is talking about some of the key benefits of Power BI. So now, why is Power BI so important, so great when you compare it with some other tools? One of the key importance of Power BI is that it is cloud-based. It's a cloud-based tool. So we all know that data is growing in a geometrical proportion. It's growing daily. And because of the importance of data, we would like to ensure that we take track of every bit of it. So taking care of ensuring that we take every care of every bit of data that comes, that it's going to accumulate into something that's very huge. So most of these analytical tools that are not cloud-based cannot handle such a big data. And for us to actually get real insights, we need to ensure that we use all possible data to create insights. So this is where Power BI, Microsoft Power BI comes in. It's a cloud-based tool that could help us get great insight, no matter how much the data is. And then another reason why Power BI is of high it's actually so cool using is because it is a low-code, no-code platform. I made mention earlier that Microsoft Power BI belongs to the Microsoft Power Platform stack. So it's so easy because it's more like a drag and drop stuff. You click on this and it carries out the transformation. It does different things that you would want to do just by clicking buttons that are attached to functions and all of that. So also Power BI has a rich feature which helps us when you check out the visual pane, as we would see in the demo. You will see that there are a whole lot of visuals that could help us tell the kind of story anyhow we want to do it. So it have these rich features. Even so many things are embedded in Power BI. So many things that are embedded that makes it so interesting using. Also, one other major thing that Power BI that makes Power BI stands out is that Power BI can connect. You can connect to so many data sources. It can connect to PDF. You can put tables from PDF. You can put tables from different databases, from different softwares and all of that. So it makes it easy. Yeah, you can just integrate to so many data sources and then put them without stress, without having to stress yourself and all of that. So this is another important benefit of Power BI. Also, one other major thing that Power BI has is that it creates a wonderful environment for collaboration. In the SaaS service, software as a service, Power BI service, so to say, the Power BI service, we can actually collaborate. We could actually share our work to different members in our organization without stress. And we could also, from there, we could actually, embed our Power BI reports and all of that in different, by just getting the codes and then getting the links and then putting them in an HTML and all of that. So also there is a minimal maintenance of analytics solution. Let me explain this. So with the refresh capability, just like in other softwares, you could just be building reports daily as the data comes, building reports daily as the data comes. But then with Power BI, you could just build a report once and then publish. After you've published, then you could just be refreshing as data comes in, and then you see that you wouldn't need to be building reports over and over again. Sorry, I know we may not actually understand some of this now, but then it's just like to give us an intro. Then going forward, we'll get to understand more when we try to understand the different components. Then I will explain some things more then. So I don't know if you can get to the next slide. Thank you. So, okay, a brief history of Power BI. So Power BI was taught about by Ruler and Dasnes of the SQL Server Coverage Services team at Microsoft. So Power BI was actually designed in 2010, and then at that point in time, the name was Project Crescent. And then we can see, just like that was why I actually took time to explain some parts of SQL Server. You see, Power BI, let's say, transcends or comes from the knowledge of SQL Server services like SQL Server analysis services, SQL Server reporting services, reporting service, and SQL Server integration service. So in September 2014, Microsoft revealed the very first preview of Power BI. But then in 24th of July 2015, that was when the very first version of Power BI was published. And then this was actually based on Excel-based add-ins such as Pivot, View, Power Query, and Map. So I don't really want to dwell so much here because I want to explain the complete good of our time. Please, can you move further so I could just be fast with this? Thank you. Okay, so now, this is the main thing I would like us to understand. At least if you don't get anything today, you should be able to understand the various components of Power BI. So now, what are the key components of Power BI? So we have the Power BI desktop. We have the Power BI service. I'll come back to them again. Then we have the Power BI gateway, the Power BI report server, the Power BI mobile. But then I want to quickly explain in depth this Power BI desktop, Power BI service, and Power BI mobile. So now Power BI is like a 3-in-1 product that has the offline version, the online version, and then the version that could actually be on our mobile phone. So the Power BI desktop is basically just like we will have PowerPoint that could sit on our laptop without it being online. So also the Power BI desktop is to create, we actually use it to create reports. So Power BI does 3 major things. Let me start from this. Power BI does 3 major things. Has to do with creating reports. What about creating reports? More like creating graphs and charts that could help people make insights. It also has to do with sharing and collaborating with those reports that has been created. Teams could actually collaborate and make decisions based on that report. And then also one other major thing that Power BI does, it brings about convenience. With the Power BI mobile, there is high convenience. There is high confidence because instead of you getting to log into your Power BI service to see reports and interact with these reports that have been published, you could just open your phone and then just flip through, and then you just get insights without necessarily getting to open your laptop. So the Power BI desktop is basically for creating reports, and it sits on our laptop, and it has 3 major views. We have the data view, we have the model view, and then you have the report view. So let me quickly talk about the Power BI gateway. So sometimes we would like to interact with our data, especially when we want to do some refreshes. But sometimes there are times where you have to do data refreshes with on-prem data. So the Power BI gateway is installed on the on-prem network, and then connected to Power BI. So you could actually do your refreshes with your on-prem data. So on-prem, I mean, when we talk about on-prem, we are talking about servers that are not connected to the cloud. They are not connected to cloud services like Azure, Google, or Amazon, and also we also have some other cloud services. So the Power BI report server, let me go to what Power BI report server is. So sometimes as against sharing our reports on the cloud, some companies are so much concerned about security, so they would like their reports to be shared on-prem. So that's where the Power BI report server comes into play. So it's just like helps Power BI connect with our on-prem infrastructure, to ensure that these reports are actually available for organizations to use. Please, can you move to the next slide? Thank you. Okay, so now let me just quickly go through some business use cases. So in the health sector, it can be used. We can actually use Power BI to track heartbeats of patients. So how is this done? Let me explain. So with the advent of sensors and other gadgets, we could harvest data from numerous sources. We could get data, heartbeat data, and then feed them to Power BI, and then setting up an infrastructure which runs on real time. We could see how the heartbeat of a patient is, and then with that, we could also maybe set alarms, or alerts, so that when it gets to a particular threshold, based on the data that is gotten from that patient, we could actually alert the doctor to take a quick action, so as not to make us lose such patients. So it's just like helps to monitor. It will help us monitor some data and then help take critical actions. So also in the manufacturing companies, our gadgets like TVs and other smart appliances could have sensors attached to them and then linked up to Power BI. So with this, some companies would have sold out some products, but then they would like to know how is this product performing, why is this product performing and all of that. So they could just be feeding, even after they've sold out some of these products, they could even be getting data into their database and analyzing, okay, this product is functioning like this. Maybe we want to check out the temperature at which their product works and all of that. So with that, they could actually get around getting to know much more about their product, even when their product is with their customers. So this would actually help them optimize the production of subsequent products, and also not only make decisions basically as a company, and then come up with a better solution that could help their customers move forward. So another thing is the supply chain business. So most companies continuously produce. So production is actually driven by the level of demand and supply. So with Power BI, we could actually know the level at which the stock is. And then with that, we could know, okay, if to produce more or not to produce more. And this is dependent on the supply and demand of the goods that we have, so that we don't have a situation where we are having we are overstocking our warehouse, and this may actually lead to some products getting bad and all of that. So this helps such businesses make decisions that could reduce losses. So also for NGOs, they could measure some key KPIs like number of children in school. So what I mean by KPIs KPIs basically means key performance indices. So when we are starting out solving a particular problem, what we look out for are KPIs, key performance indices, that could help us achieve our objective in creating a particular report. So in NGOs, they would like to know, okay, what is the COVID-19 rates? What is the fatality rate for a particular group of persons? What is the maternity, infection rates for a particular disease? All of that. So they could actually set up a solution that runs on real time, and then make decisions based on these solutions. So I don't know. Can you move to the next slide? Thank you. Okay. So quickly, I want to take us through a demo that will help us understand the Power BI desktop interface. So Mr. Ifeanyi will help me click on this link. That will take us to a YouTube video that would show us how the Power BI desktop looks like. So this is just like to help us familiarize what the Power BI desktop is. Thank you very much.
Ifeanyi, did you follow along? So you might need to reshare your screen after you click the video and enable system audio when you share, so that it will pick up the volume, the audio of the video.
Okay, so I'm just giving full control for sharing.
Is this audio is not coming up, right? Did you, when you are sharing, you're supposed to click system audio?
Because when I was sharing, I just clicked on the share.
When you click on share, there's a part where you will see, apart from share full screen, there's also include system audio. If you don't tick that volume, you won't hear anything.
Okay, yes, I've clicked on it. So should be hearing it now.
Basically, we will see, we will try to just familiar with the Power BI desktop interface, because that is what we are going to use next lecture onwards, because we will create our our reports and then dashboards, visualization. So everything we will do on that. Now let me open Power BI desktop. So if you have already installed, you will see something like this. So you can just click on open, and this will open the blank Power BI desktop interface. So you can see here, it will just take some time because first time I'm opening this after the installation. So it will initialize and usually it will not take this much of time to open. So you can see here. Now if you have anything reports are there, you can just click on that if you want to open it. But let me close it and then we can see the interface. So if you'll see here, this is what is the interface. The top one you can see here, this one is the ribbon. So here you will see various options when you will develop your visualization. So you can see here there are various options are available. We will see some options on that, but this is how uh, the ribbon works. And then if you see here, the second one, this one is called the views types here. So the first one, if you'll see here, this is the visualization or the dashboard view where we create our visualizations. Then if I'll open this one, this is known as your data view where you will create all these formulas. You will add, you will make your data modeling formula. These things you will do it here. And then finally the last one will be as you can see from this diagram, there you can make the relationship view. So this is known as the relationship view where you can create the relationship by using various data sources, or you can join to multiple tables and then you can see it. Now the second one is what I said is the data view. It is the table view also where you can see the data in terms of a table. Now then we will if you'll see here actually ribbon, then view type, then the dashboard canvas, then visualization pan, then fields and page selector like this. So the dashboard canvas is this one where actually you can create your dashboard or you can add your visualizations and stuff like that. In this screen you will add it in this particular report view. We are going to add it. And then next one is the visualization pan. You can see here, this is the place where you can see all your visualizations, and you can just add it over there into this interface when you will add it. And then you can see here the fields. So the fields will come here. I will just load one report. I will show you, but this is where you will see all your columns or the fields which you are going to use inside your visualization or inside the reports. And then this is the page view. If you'll see down, let me just open it a little bit. I will make it the adjustment. You can see here, this one is your page view. So the page, you can add multiple pages here, and you can make the report. So you have multiple pages here you can add. So this is your page selector, or you can see the pages here. Now this one is how we usually work with that one. But let me just open a report, and then I will show you how exactly it will appear like this. So I'll click on this. Let me open probably this one. I will just open one and I will try to show you this thing. So now if we look at this, now this is, let me just little bit, I'll bring it here. So actually now if you'll see here, now this in this reporting or in this desktop interface, if you'll see here, you can see the fields. So you can see here, this is table wise, you will see all the fields here. So if you'll see here, I have a products table. You can see these are the columns. So everything, whatever the measures, formulas you wrote, everything will come here. So these are the fields, and this is your visualization which you have used in this. You can see here, in this interface we have used that, and it has not one thing. You can see here there's multiple pages. In different page I have different reports are there. We'll see later how things are happening, but this is how uh, 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 we have the UI looks like. And if you'll see here from this is the ribbon, and then you can click publish here. You can click on get data. You will get data from here. Next video we will see that. But then if you'll see here, I will click on this tabular view. You can see here. So all this table, you can see the data here. For example, I will click on this products table. You can see here these many columns are there, and then things like this here. Now, similarly, the relationship view, you can see here I have products table, vendor table, and then there is another data table. So I have a relationship. You can see here. This is which one is mapped with which table, which columns. So you can see here this is mapped. I will show you all these things later, and we will when we will do the mapping and stuff like that. But this is how the interface looks like. So why you should know this thing, because tomorrow let's say we will add a visualization, then you should know that I have to go this view or the report view, and then from here I can add the visualization. So next video we will see how we can actually create our first visualization.
Okay, so that's the end of the video.
Cephas?
Thank you very much. Yeah, thank you very, very much. So I think I know I've spent so much time. So can we quickly just go to the question section, so I could just attend to that and then maybe ask the question that I have here. Thank you.
Okay. So are there any questions? There were some questions earlier. Okay. Okay. Yes, the best way to learn docs, and were you able to best way to learn docs? So far,
Yeah.
what was I was asking for the best. What was the best way to learn
Okay.
docs?
To learn DAX, the formulas.
Yeah, the formula.
Cephas, did you hear us?
Sorry. Okay. The very first question here. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Too large of data sets, knowing. Okay, I can't see.
Too large of
Okay.
data sets.
Too
Okay.
large of
So
data
what's the best
sets,
way to
knowing
bring?
how to bring in data, best ways to keep smaller. I don't get that clearly. Can you help me understand that?
So the context was so during where you're trying to present and it wasn't working. So Michael already gone through the first three questions. No, the first two questions. For this third question, I think the session could have helped. I will ask, but it's the fourth question that's the current question at the moment, which is like, what's the best way to learn docs?
Best way to learn that.
Docs,
Okay.
yeah. So
Yeah. So one of the way I think that would work out for you is learning that. Well, I don't know if that's work for other persons, but then learning from Microsoft document, Microsoft Learn, which actually takes you through it and shows you. Though there are still some videos online, some videos like by David Abu, that explains that very well, and some other videos as well that explains that very well. You can also consider watching some of those YouTube videos, and also go through Microsoft Learn to understand the reason how it works. Because when you understand how it works, okay, the reason why they added what they added and all of that, it's going to work very, very, like it's going to stick very well for you. So I will consider you going through Microsoft Learn, following through it very well, and then complementing with YouTube videos.
then okay, so what's the question for? What's the advantage of Power BI over other business intelligence tools? So what's the advantage of Power BI over maybe Tableau or others?
Okay, thank you very much. So one of the key advantage of Power BI is in the area of sharing and collaborating. With Power BI services, there are a whole lot of features that help us share, like sharing your reports in teams, sharing to other members. Though I know some of all those other BI tools can do that, but then the experience that Power BI gives, and also the Power BI mobile also helps us to consume data at our convenience. So because of some of those features and some other enterprise capabilities, that are added with some Power BI services, like, how do I put it now? When you subscribe, you are exposed to some other features and all of that. So that actually makes Power BI so awesome. So it has some of these features that makes it easy, not just creating reports, but easy to consume and share reports across different stakeholders that actually needs this to get running. Hello, I don't know if I answered your question. Hello. Hello, are you there?
Yes, we hear you. Okay. So I think maybe what's his name? Ifeanyi is having network issues. So at this point, we'll get to the questions that we have for you. Question number one is, so how did you get into this whole data analysis space? What's your journey like? How did you get to where you are in this data analysis space? Can you share your interesting journey?
Okay. Yeah. So I got into IT generally early 2021. I started with a program in AWS. So when I was done with that program, during that program, I was actually introduced to SQL and then Python, fundamentals of Python and IT. So along that journey, 3 months journey actually, I got interested. I was like, okay, after this particular introduction course, I would like to focus in data analysis. And I was just like working towards that and all of that until a program, a Microsoft Power BI program that was organized by David Abu, Jafflet, and the team. And then that was where they actually taught us Microsoft Power Platform. But then among the stack of the platform that's talking about the Power Apps, the Power Automate, the Power BI, and the Power Virtual Agent, I actually caught so much interest in Power BI. And then since that time, I just have so much interest, and then I've been working, towards getting more knowledge on that area. And then from there, I actually will also find interest in data engineering, while I also advocate for Microsoft Power Platform.
That's a very interesting journey, to even see that all the people you are mentioning are the same people in our circle, and I think Jafflet has presented on this platform. David have maybe more than once. So, so the next question, okay, fine, is back. So, fine, the second question is what I'm supposed to ask.
So the second question was, so for those that want to get started, what advice do you have for those that are getting started?
Okay. So for those who are getting started, I think one major thing to know before getting to the journey is self-discovery, because there are some persons who are good, watching videos and learning through videos, while there are some persons who are good, reading through and then following processes. So the very first thing is discovering how best you learn. Then after you've discovered how best you learn, then you move towards getting the right resource. Because the resource that may be good for me to learn may not be that exact resource, depending on our individual differences. So after you've gotten to know yourself, understanding what works best for you, as regards if a video works best for you, or maybe reading through docs and blogs works for you, you could just figure that out and then get the necessary resource along that line that you figured out. And then also one major thing that's very needed, because in this career path, one needs a mentor. Because I had a challenge. I must say this. I had a challenge before. Now I find it easy, being mentored and all of that. So it was hard for me to come under a mentor. But then I later, a whole lot of things happened, and I was really stressed. And I knew that yes, you need a mentor. Well, I wasn't, not that I actually never wanted a mentor, but I wasn't this kind of person that this mentor kind of stuff. But then I discovered I wasted a whole lot of time rolling around so many things. So one other thing to consider after discovering how best to learn is to have a mentor that could help walk you through all what you need to know to get running as quick as possible. And then also being accountable to that mentor is really very, very important.
So thanks so much for this presentation, and Toby is even in session. So thank you so much for this wonderful presentation. The last thing is for you to ask a question so that we can see who gets to win a free membership for Enterprise DNA.
Okay, thank you very much. So, the question I have here is, which Power BI components?
Just hold on a bit. Please, sorry, I forgot something. Okay, so when you ask the question, since nobody can talk, you just ask, you put the answer in a chat box, and the first person that Cephas feels is the correct answer, it will drop an emoji on the answer, and that may be a thumbs up. So the first reply, or the first answer, or the first message that pops up that has the correct, or has an answer that you feel is okay, you give it a thumbs up.
Cephas, did you get?
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So we're just saying that the people, nobody will talk, they will put the answer in the chat box. So you will like the correct answer, the first correct answer. So you can go on. Cephas?
Yeah, I'm coming. So the question I have here is, which Power BI component is an offline version? Which Power BI component is an offline version?
Like that question. I remember when you were explaining it. Okay, so please answer. Thank God I heard when he was explaining it, and he was saying, what meaning of on-premise, why some companies will always want on-premise, blah, blah. So we are hoping that somebody will get the answer. So please type your answers in the chat box. Okay. Let's not be that nobody listened and heard that part of his presentation. We are waiting for your answers in the chat box. And let me tell you what the prize is. You get a free membership from Enterprise DNA to learn. The membership covers a whole lot of Power BI, Power Platform courses. I think it's worth more than $500 and something dollars, like I think $530. That's a lot. In Naira, that's more than 300K. Someone is saying we should ask the question again. Mr. Cephas, please, do you mind just maybe repeating it? I think some people maybe they want to listen closely. The question, sir.
Okay. Let me repeat again. Okay, so which Power BI component is an offline version? Which Power BI component is an offline version? I could measure the components, so you could just choose to make it easier for us.
Okay, maybe that would be worst case.
So welcome. Yes.
Oh, okay. Thank you, Ogatobi. Some answers are coming in. I'm not supposed to say anything since the only person authorized to say anything now is Cephas.
Okay.
Okay, should we try your options, Mr. Cephas? Maybe you say you want to mention them, and then they should pick.
Yeah.
Maybe a scenario now. We'll try that now. Okay.
Okay. So we have the Power BI desktop. We have the Power BI mobile. We have the Power BI service. We have the Power BI report server. And then we have the Power BI gateway. So
I think if nobody gets it, then we won't give any prize. It's not by force. But let's just give people a chance once more. There are how many of us left? Mr. Cephas, are you able to look at the chat area?
yeah, I can see. I think okay. Power BI desktop and mobile. Power BI components. Power BI. Okay. I think I'm trying to see how I could actually give a thumbs up here.
Okay, you
But
can mention the person's name.
So,
We'll do thumbs up.
Sorry?
Mention the person's
so
name.
if over,
Renayat, I think she chose desktop. So someone also chose desktop, but then added mobile. So I'm going with Power BI desktop actually. So I think Renayat Kafos chose desktop.
okay, so
Rihanna, do you already have the price?
let me check.
Oh, okay. All right. So Rihanna is our winner for today then. So will you message if I will drop the instruction for how you claim your prize?
So just drop your name, just email this email address, webinar@UrBizEdge.com. Also drop your email in the chat box so I can tell that this is because we've had a situation when I think I got multiple emails and I had to go back and find out who exactly actually now.
But we have to also be the names. So anybody that sends us email, we won't just immediately forward the person. We'll check is it the person. At least I know the person's name now, Rihanna. Obviously, if more than one person sends us email, we'll be sure to not send the wrong person. Or even anybody that sends email, we'll just first of all check is the name looking like the person that won. What do you think?
So because some people use emails that it's not very close to their names.
Okay, I get you. Okay, so Rihanna, please send on time, so that somebody else will not try to claim your seat. So any other thing left, fine.
Yes, no, so nothing else. So far, thank you for this presentation and apologies for everybody for the technical difficulties we are having. But thank you again for this session.
Yeah, thank you, Cephas.
Thank you, sir. Yeah, thank you very much. I really appreciate the privilege.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
So, can I end the session, right?
Yeah, you can end the session.
So to everyone, I want to say have a very wonderful Workers' Day celebration. Happy New Month, Happy New Week, happy every new thing that is happening today already. And Ramadan Kareem to everyone. We are all celebrating it. And so have a wonderful rest of the night and a wonderful month ahead. Thank you. Bye bye.